And also, I think even the curriculum that is taught in schools is not what needs to be taught, actually.
Right.
I think I think right now, students need to be taught at a young age money, finances.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just as important as knowing how to calculate physics, any type of calculus, physics. You need to understand money. And once you can understand that, it makes the world go round just the same way you need to learn a foreign language, the same way you need to learn all the rest of your core math, science, reading, arithmetic, etc. So I think when you see who has been successful or quoted as being successful, like your Bill Gates, Donald Trump's, Oprah's, they all had, of course, the knowledge, the general foundation and the fundamentals, but they also understood money.
Right.
And I think that's something that should be taught in school.
And speaking about money, we're going to move on into our second segment of this Miller Talk Time show with Trey Carter. We got our special guest, like we said earlier, Miss Joy Rose, ways to the people again out there in the world. All right, she's an educator herself. So we're sticking with this money goal. Great transition to our next piece, which is today's business news. Bank bailout shows promise. Trey Carter just said we need to teach kids money as well at a very young age.
Right.
So the bank bailout shows promise. You did your research on it today. This was something that you brought to me. So tell me what you think about it.
Well, it's a combination of two things. Right now, we've understood that some people might just heard the word bailout, didn't know exactly where it went or how it was distributed. But a lot of your large banks, i.e. Bank of America, Citigroup, a lot of other large financial lending institutions were given billions of dollars to kind of sort out this mess that has happened due to the stock market doing poorly, the mortgage crisis. And Citigroup has had the highest, their stock right now is at the highest it's been since 2007, which the stock market is generally dictated by the conscience of the Americans. It's more or less their emotions. I mean, people are in fear. They're going to start taking out their stocks, selling, and doing whatever they need to do to take their money out. And right now, I guess this bailout, along with the future forecast of Citigroup, is showing that the stock has grown. People are more confident, and they're buying stocks. The stock price is improving. So that's a pretty good. That's showing that the bank bailout is somewhat successful right now. And this definitely, what I say, this will definitely be an inch by inch thing versus going by the yard. This will need to be watched daily, and I think the people need to make sure they continue to be optimistic. Don't just fear everything. The world is not going to be over. Just think about life 100 years ago when there was no stock market, when there was people just living on the land. Everyone had a trade. Those people weren't scared and running around. We will make it. So I say people remain optimistic. I'm glad to see that this bailout money has been just shown hope and promise, and hopefully that this whole recession we get up out of it.
Okay. Speaking of what this same tidbit that we're talking about with the bank bailout and shows promise, because I'm mad as hell with big banks. That's just my honest opinion about things. So Miss Rose, the educator extraordinaire, tell me how you feel about this whole bank bailout situation.
I mean, I have my own view on bailouts, period. I mean, a lot of companies that are getting bailed out are the very companies that have put so many other people in debt. And I mean, they make their money off of charging interest. People can't pay the interest because the interest rate is too high, and they're going to bail out these companies. But these companies, they're not going to change the way that they operate, because that's what they're built on. And then for the American people, they're still in debt. I mean, they give companies $8 billion. They give us $300. I mean, and at a time when MLG and W bills were $300.
Right.
$300 can't even pay my car note. So to expect for me to go out and do something extra with that money, it was ridiculous. And then we had to turn around and claim it on our taxes.
Right.
I mean, if I had $8 billion, I could do a lot. I mean, if I had 50,000, I could do a lot.
But the $8 billion is to keep the banks afloat and to keep their employees paid. I mean, am I correct?
Possibly so, but it's not helping the American people to get out of debt. And as long as we feel like we're in debt, as long as we feel like we can't afford it, we're not going to go out splurging. I mean, some people aren't affected by it, which is fortunate, but there are a lot of people that are affected by it. I mean, every day they're bailing out companies, but still everyday unemployment is rising.
Right.
And this is another case of trickle down economics, where they want to help the big guys so that the money will flow down to the little people. I think it should go be the exact opposite.
I do too.
I think you should help because right now the people who need help aren't at the top. They still got their jets, their 4 or 5 homes, and their $1 million accounts. I think the regular middle class and lower middle class impoverished should be given some monies to even get back on their feet. Because right now, if you were teetering on the brink of falling between poverty and I guess lower middle class, I think this recession may have been the little edge that just pushed you back. You know, made you lose your home,
right?
Made you lose a car, etc. And I think those people need the help first to make sure they can stay in their home or get another home or get somewhere to live. Because now you got in Nashville and Houston, they got tent cities now. People who've lost their jobs, had nowhere to go. These people living in tents. I think the money given to Citigroup could be used better. I mean, you got these people looking like they're, you know, FEMA, you know, I guess hurricane victims. You know, you got 100,000 people in tents who are executives and, you know, people in, you know, blue collar and white collar jobs.
But you know, the tent stuff just ain't started. They had this back in like the 20s and the 30s with the Great Depression. Y'all don't think I know about my history. We had shanty towns back then, man. We had shanty towns. But speaking about bailouts, people being broke, you know, men taking their anger out nowadays because they broke, hitting their women. So that's our next tidbit, you know. I ain't saying this the reason why this guy did it, but
last time I checked, he had a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Oprah has dedicated one of her upcoming shows to speak about Rihanna, and one of her quotes that she had the other day was, if he hits you once, he'll hit you again. Miss Rose, we got a lady on the episode today. Tell us in a few good minutes how you feel about men hitting women.
My opinion, if he hits once, he'll never hit me again. That's all I gotta say about that one.
Yeah, Trey Carter, what you got on it, man?
Well, I've never been in a situation to put my hands on a woman, and I can't justify what Chris Brown did, but I think his domestic violence has gone on way before Chris Brown hit Rihanna.
Right.
And I think the whole situation has been kind of pushed to the side. And I think domestic violence goes, but there are a lot of women who hit men too. So let's not get it twisted like it's a male on female 99% of the time. It's just that the males probably don't even report it because it's just one of those things, a double standard.
So they're making a poster child for Chris Brown because of domestic violence, right? Could be.
Well,
because like you said, it's been going on for a while, right?
Oh, hundreds of years. I mean,
but this is the first time that, you know, that it's been blown out because of these two celebrities,
whenever you have two celebrities, anything is under the microscope. So I think that this situation will bring light to it and make sure that people are aware.
Right.
But I don't think, first of all, I don't think it'll ever stop. Nor do I think that Chris Brown, I don't know Chris Brown, so I can't say what he will do again. But I think it's best to communicate. That's all I say. Communication is the key. If he can articulate what was going on, he may have anger issues. He may have some other issues that we might not know about that causes.
You got something to say about this, Ms. Rhodes?
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, just like everybody else, I've been hearing tidbits of the story. But Rihanna recognizes her part in the issue, too. And even though people are, you know, are pointing out Chris Brown, they're not realizing her role in it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who started or who ended it, but I mean, both parties did have a significant part in it. And I think that when you talk about domestic violence cases, you have to think about both sides.
Right. So on that note there, Trey Carter, we got to get out of here. So tell the people exactly who you are, where they can meet you with.
Trey Carter, you can reach me at patrickcarter3@gmail.com or myspace.com/stunnerandfresh.
All right.
Shoot me an email.
Miss Rose, thanks for coming on the show, stopping by. Let me go ahead and plug my information for y'all that don't know me. MySpace.com/Miller Talk Time. You can catch me on Twitter. I'm the Not Tripping Guy because I ain't tripping about nothing out here in this world. YouTube.com. We got our own YouTube channel now. Miller Talk Time is a YouTube channel. The Trey and Josh Show at gmail.com. That's where we read all our fan mail from yesterday. So on that note, we will get you out of here. Listen to my boy Easy Motherfudgin' E. And like we say around this time to the people out there on the internet land, Webo Vision, peace.